even with crusty makeup and dirty hair. What's up, YouTube? It's Sunday.
Why are you such a copycat?
Oh, okay, wow. Today has been a roller coaster. Like, mental health-wise, it's kind of and that's kind of how it's been the past few days, but I'm still gonna come at you with a new video because I had a good idea and I was able to get myself up for it, so here we go. Let's give me a round of applause. Okay, anyway, let's just get into the video. So, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this week, and I thought about doing Scott Part 2. I know I was talking about that, and I told one of my friends that I was going to do that this week, but then I kind of decided that I'm going to do that next week, and this week I have a different idea. Obviously, if I'm going to do that next week, what am I going to do this week? Just kind of like the same thing? No. So this week I decided that you guys are always doing stuff for me, like liking and subscribing and commenting, and I'm always asking you to do stuff for me. This week I wanted to give you something, and what I'm going to be able to give you is an existential crisis. And that's what this video is. Let's get started. I'm actually really excited for this. I came up with this idea on a date with someone, and you know, we were both like, oh yeah, that should be a video. I like how I was just checking my phone for like things that I wrote down to say during this video, and I just realized that I didn't write anything down except fuck people up with existential crises. So I guess I'm just gonna fuck you up with some existential crises. Okay, so one of the ones that I think about all the time and that I think is going to be interesting, and actually it's fitting because this is the one that we were talking about whenever we came up with the idea. I'm not real. I'm a figment of your imagination. You think that you're watching this video, but in reality you're staring at a blank screen. I don't exist. I never made this video. You just think I did because you needed something to entertain you from whatever is going on out in the other room. Or maybe you just wanted to watch a video and you didn't know what to watch, and so instead you made me up. But either way, I'm not real. If you ask anybody else to come in the room, they're not gonna see me, and if they tell you that they see me, it's because you made them up too. So going off of that, every person that you're friends with doesn't exist. Your entire life does not exist. You've never been to school, you've never been to work, you've never been to someone else's house, you've never hung out with people, you've never met people before, because you are actually in a coma, and this is all in your head, and you are creating every bit of it. Yes, that's right, everything that you've ever known is a lie. This video, whatever you're watching it on, none of those are real. Your parents, your siblings, if you have them, your friends, everyone, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, none of them are real. None of them ever existed in the first place. You made them up in your head, and yes, they seem real, and that's because that is the only plane of reality that you know. What if, in real life, you are in a coma and people look entirely different? People don't look like this. This is just what your brain came up with because you don't remember what the actual people look like. What if aliens are actually people? What if you're an alien and you just don't think that you're an alien because you think we look like this because that's what they twisted your brain to think, or that's what you came up with, or whatever, and that's why we're so scared of aliens, and that's why we always think that like, oh, aliens come down and mess with us, but really they don't. They're the people and they created us. On that note, try and think back. You have memories, right? You have childhood memories, you have like whatever, like you have memories that you've made in the past. None of those ever happened. This is the first day that you've ever existed. Ever. You have not been alive before today. And so you have these memories and you think that these things really happened because they feel so real to you, but they were transplanted in your head. They're not real. You're not real. Your life is not real. Maybe that's why people say I wasn't born yesterday, because they were. What if none of us existed before today? What if whenever we talk about the Big Bang or whatever, they were talking about this day where we all just pooped into existence and we thought that we've been existing for however many years. I think I've been existing for 22 years. You think you've been existing for however long that you think you've been alive. But no, we were all born yesterday and all of our memories have just been transplanted into our heads. Doesn't that fuck you up? Think about this. So anytime you go somewhere, what if you're not going where you think you're going? For example, this is something I used to think about in high school all the time, especially every time I went to the bathroom. So just to go off of that, I'm going to go ahead and use the example that I used to think. So you're sitting in the auditorium for theater class or whatever, and you decide to get up and go to the bathroom. As you're walking to the bathroom, you open the door, you sit down on the toilet, and you start peeing. Now consider that you are not in theater. That instead, you just got up from a seat out in the hallway, you walked inside your classroom because you were like out for timeout or whatever reason, but you just walked inside your classroom, you went, you pull your pants and your underwear down, you sat on your desk chair, and you just started peeing. What if everyone's actually like freaking out and like screaming because you just like walked in and just like yanked your pants down and started peeing on the seat in front of everyone? Or worse, pooping? And what if you think that you're going somewhere else because either someone is twisting your brain and making you see it that way, or you're in a coma and nothing is real, or your perception of reality is just false? What if you're actually crazy? Because people say that crazy people don't know that they're crazy. So if you're crazy, you would have no way of knowing it. Do you have a pet? Okay, well, if you have a pet now, or you've ever had a pet before, this applies to you. What if you don't actually have a pet? What if you made that pet up? What if my cat, Daenerys, you know, who I like talk about, like she's like the center of my channel or whatever, she's like my mascot or whatever, she's the love of my life, she's my emotional support animal, she's my child essentially, I love her so much. What if she's not real? What if I just knew that I wanted a cat, and so I made up this crazy circumstance to get her, because it was kind of a weird circumstance, and then she's been like running around with me and growing, and I've been cuddling her and whatever, but she's not actually there. What if she's a stuffed animal? What if you and I and all of us who have pets, what if we are Lars from Lars and the Real Girl, and you know, he thought that she was a real girl, but she wasn't. She was like a doll or whatever. So what if it's the same thing? What if our cats or our dogs or our parrots or our fish or whatever are actually like stuffed animals or like little toys or whatever, and we just think that they're real, and so we convince ourselves that they're real, and we make up this whole personality. What if, this is gonna be a little bit crazy, not like we've already gone there or anything, what if your pet actually died like weeks or months or years ago, and you couldn't cope with the idea that they died, and so instead you decided to just pretend that they never did, and so in your head they're still running around, and when people hear you say it, at first they were like, oh no sweetie, and you're like, what are you talking about? They're not dead, and maybe you don't even remember that because you've repressed that, and so at this point they all feel like it's better so that you don't like snap and go actually completely insane and just let you think that there's an animal. Maybe that's why you're the one who has to feed the cat. I'm just saying. I'm actually kind of like fucking myself up with these. What if you've never actually watched a movie? You know those Disney movies that you all grew up on and whatever, and like, you know, I watched The Little Mermaid obsessively, some people watch like Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty or Mulan or The Lion King or any of those, and you watch them obsessively and you love them and you love them. What if they never existed? What if someone collectively came up with the plots for those but never actually made them, and just implanted the movie in everyone's heads and gave you a blank CD, like the Emperor's like invisible clothing or whatever that story is? What if that one was made up too? So what if like they implanted it in all of our heads, and whenever you play your DVD, if you have the DVD, it's actually just completely blank, there's nothing on it, you turn it on, it's a black screen just like this video because it doesn't actually exist. And so the screen is black and you have no idea. You think that you're watching this movie because it's been implanted in your head as whatever it was, and that's why it was only 2D. What if animation doesn't exist in the first place? It's always been like that, and that's why it took so long for it to develop and start to look lifelike. And now it honestly looks so freaky whenever you watch movies because you're like, oh my god, whoa, it's like actually watching a real person, but it's not, it's... And then that could even go into like, you know, oh well, why did it take this long for us to develop this thing or whatever, because, you know, we had silent movies beforehand and whatever. What if silent movies were just the beginning of it? What if that's where humanity really started, and all the people who we thought came before were just implanted memories and someone wrote those textbooks and did that? What if the world's been reset? Oh, I'm getting so into this. Maybe I should be using a creepy voice, but I feel like it's too late now. What if the world actually existed beforehand, and there was, for some reason, like all of the people had to be wiped out or became aliens? Just to, you know, throw back to our earlier theory. And someone sat down and wrote all of our textbooks and everything else, and then started the train again, because, you know, if like we woke up and, oh, we already have all of this technology, then maybe we would start to wonder why. And well, actually, I guess, what if that was implanted too? Everything is a lie! And now, okay, conspiracies have blown up on the internet. I'm sure you've noticed. Everyone's obsessed with the Illuminati. It's kind of become a meme, but now it's kind of becoming serious again. And everyone is talking about conspiracy theories. There's the Mandela effect, all of that stuff. And what if that's all just, first of all, the Mandela effect, that could just be a glitch in the system that's running all of our heads, and maybe that's why we're so scared of artificial intelligence. But also, like, the Illuminati is like our, you know, simile or whatever for whoever is implanting all the shit in our heads and making us think that we're alive when we're like not. We're like not actually like human beings who live for however long we think. We just have had that implanted in our heads. That's like our simile for that. And now we're all suddenly starting to be like, wait a minute, this isn't right. And so we're starting to find out stuff about the Illuminati, and then the world's gonna end again and reset again, and maybe that's what happened last time, and it's just gonna repeat the cycle. Glitch in the system. Oh my god, okay, I'm just kinda... I'm like all over the place in this video. I'm talking about random shit. I don't even know what like my next one was gonna be. I was just gonna kind of wing it. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm already mid-existential crisis, so I succeeded, I guess. Let me know in the comments below if I gave you an existential crisis, and if not, if you want me to try again, let me know, because I would be more than glad to, and I'll actually come more prepared next time. But if I did give you an existential crisis, put it in the comment section below. Put it in the comment section below also, and then tell me like what part specifically, and then try and go off of that, and just kind of go off the rails entirely. Because nothing is real, and insanity doesn't exist, so why not? Okay guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a thing that I do more or not, but we'll see. I am gonna be doing a lot more conspiracy videos because you guys have really seemed to love the Poppy videos that I posted, and I'm gonna do another Charlotte video, and I'll do another Poppy video when there's more on that, but I haven't done enough research yet. But I do want to start doing more of them because honestly I love them and you guys seem to like them, so that's coming. But next week, I promised Remy next week is going to be the Scott part 2, which if you guys haven't seen part 1, I'll link it below, and also like I'll link it next week as well, because yeah, I did a part 1. Scott was like my first book that I wrote in high school, and by that I just mean I like filled up a notebook with a story that was so bad it makes fan fiction look like the work of the gods. So yeah, it was real rough, and so I thought I would make fun of myself and read it the first time, and people really liked it, and I wanted to do a part 2. So that's what's gonna be coming next week. I'm probably gonna act out some of it. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm just not prepared enough for that this week. Okay, I know I already said this once, but thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't. Join the Coffee Cat family. Join the MeowChiatos, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much. Also, don't forget to go check out my video from this past Friday on the Welcome to Reality channel. I'll also link that below, and go check me out on there every Friday, and then I post on here every Sunday, and I need to stop talking. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Hey YouTube, hey YouTube, hey YouTube, it's Sunday. We thought you died. Fuck it, I'm dead. Little boulder! Whiplash, sorry. Subscribe. Anyway, kind of psycho mode. What? MeowChiatos? Same. Woohoo! Why does this shit happen to me?
Why are you such a coffee cat?
Also, I got a ring light. Doesn't it look amazing? I wanna cry. Bloopers! That was like real extra. With crusty makeup and really me telling you things that are gonna give you yeah, on a date with the person I was on a date with. I like how it was just realized. Okay, so I guess I'll just go from whenever we're watching this video. Yes, that's right. Everything that you think, this video, the computer that you're watching it on, or the phone that you're watching it on, yes, that's right. Everything that you've ever known, this video, whatever type of tech they're the people, then they created. You have literally never had, because technically people say that you would have no and it's just gonna repeat the cycle. Leave a comment in the description, and if put it in the comment section below, and that was okay.